strange point in my life to ask that question.
Here we go.
Because I'm Freya Wild, but only recently. Because I just got married. I'm from Melbourne, in Australia. But I went to circus school in Albury, so I'm kind of from Albury as well. So I'm known as Freya Wild. But yeah, I'm Freya, either way. Well, I started circus at about 7 years old because I fell in love with circus when I was 3. But at that time in Australia, well, at least in Melbourne, you couldn't do classes before the age of 7. So my mum took me to see a show and I loved it. And I was like, well, I want to do that. And I kept nagging and nagging and nagging for years. So I think I did like some ballet classes and some juggling classes until I was old enough to do circus. Well, at the moment she's a bit older, so she's kind of slowed down quite a lot. She draws and paints. She's a visual artist. But while I was growing up, she made these incredible outdoor spectacle events, kind of thing. She worked with fire a lot, and other kind of large-scale puppets. She made a lot of outdoor events that were about kind of raising awareness of the environment, I guess. Shows about oil spills or shows about species going extinct. That kind of thing. Absolutely, yeah. My mum was. I grew up with just my mum, and she's an artist, so she gets it. But I don't know that there's one answer to that. There's been so many. I think. I have no idea. Because it started when I was so young, I could be doing anything. Because there was a time when I was about 13 that I really wanted to be a lawyer. I feel like that's not right. At the moment, actually, I'm I'm doing my last unit in a course to become a health and nutrition coach. So I guess maybe that. But I don't know that I would have found that without circus. I want to say getting married, but I feel like that doesn't really do justice to a whole lot of other amazing moments in my life. I got married 6 months ago, so I'm definitely still in the excited honeymoon phase, but I really feel like I've found someone who means that I can be the best version of me. So I feel like it's a huge part of my life that now I don't have to think about. For a long time, being on stage was the only time that I could stop thinking. You know, when you just have like constant noise in your head, and whenever I would get on stage, it would stop, and everything would just be calm, which is really lovely. But after when being on stage became so regular, that stopped happening, and I remember having a bit of a crisis when that stopped happening, because it was all of a sudden this thing that was my escape or my everything wasn't what it used to be. It didn't give me what it used to give me. But again, I think that was a really good thing to experience and overcome and work through.
Do you sometimes feel you're not there? Yeah? Of
course, yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's times where I've been doing 7 shows a week with only 1 day off for 6 months at a time, and it becomes pretty monotonous. And then when you are doing the same thing over and over again, it can be difficult to keep it alive and keep it fresh and keep it fun. I'm really good at making bread. That's a recent one. I just learned how to do that. And like anything fermented, I make great kombucha and kimchi. I saw Cisco in the 7 Fingers show, actually. Oh, no, but maybe I saw one before then. I remember seeing Loft in Melbourne, which would have been before Traces, right? It changes. I think I really enjoy the process of putting makeup on before a show. I don't generally wear makeup in life much, but even like the other day we did a presentation in the studio and I was like, I think you need to go and put at least something like mascara, just, I don't know, I think it makes a distinction between the personal and the kind of the persona that you present. I don't think I can remember ever being told one piece of advice from someone that like made all of the difference in my life, but I do feel like there are all of these different pieces of advice that have either come from someone telling me or come from a conversation or come from the experience of working with someone that I think are really pertinent. I like the secret to happiness is low expectations. It's a good one for me. Yeah. That you should stretch as a warm-up. I think I've hurt a lot of people just from being very focused on what I do and being, I have really high standards for myself and for people around me, and I think that I have a few times dismissed people a bit too easily for not living up to my standards or for not being what I expected them to be, which again, really good lesson. There's this woman called Karina Oates who, when I was young, like between kind of 10 and 15, she was the hula hooper with Circus Oz, and I used to see her hula hoop every year. You know, they would do a new show and I would always go and see it with my mum because I loved it. She was so badass. She was like, kind of, she would wear leather and often hoop fire, and she was covered in tattoos, and she was kind of like, she was so cool. And yeah, so for a long time, she was a big part of why I started hula hooping, and a big part of why I started circus, and a big part of what made me really interested in the kind of representation of the strength of women on stage and the varied strength of women on stage. And I remember a time, I was 15 or 16, and I was performing with my circus school at a festival, and she was also performing, and I had this crazy realization, you know, of a young circus artist who doesn't understand the complexities of performance and all of the different things that make you a good performer. But I realized that she was performing just a 4-hoop split on stage, and I could already do 6, and I had this like insane moment of going like, I'm better than her, which of course is bullshit because I was a child and she was a seasoned professional. But yeah, I kind of forgot about her a little bit for a few years, and recently I learned that she, so in the time that I had kind of a little bit forgotten about her, I started studying health coaching, nutrition coaching, and really kind of went down that road. Obviously just studying on the side, I'm not practicing or anything, but, and then I learned that she's a life coach. So she's doing this very similar thing with her life to what I'm kind of starting to do now. And I started to look into a bunch of her work, and we got back in contact, and we've spoken a lot. And yeah, she really inspires me because she's done a whole lot of things that I would love to do with my life. Things that I've already done, and then she's got 2 kids, and she's got this incredible business that she runs that offers support for touring artists. So, you know, she has an online coaching business, which, yeah, I love people who can see a gap of need in the world and create something to fill it. Yep. I worry so much, and it's probably a bit of a problem. I'm terrified of losing Anna, my husband.
My wife Freya, the idea of losing her is terrifying.
It's like every day. That scares me. When I was 21, I ruptured my ACL in my right knee, which was, and it, you know, was an injury. It wasn't like a little by little. It was like I fell, it snapped, it was bad, and then they told me that I needed to be out for 9 months with surgery and rehabilitation and everything. And I was really lucky because I was working with a company who had insurance, so it was all paid for. Like I had my wage paid for, like most of my wage paid for the entire time. I had lots of support, physio, everything was amazing. But it was the first time ever in my life that I had considered that there was something that maybe my body wouldn't last forever, and that maybe I would have to think about what would happen after circus, which is when I started to study nutrition. So that was cool. That was a big turning point. What do I do when I'm not training? Too much. I need to make more time in my life for training because it's important. It depends. How is it going to end?
Apocalypse. Yeah.
I mean, probably first I would try to figure out if I could stop it.
You don't have time.
I don't have time to stop it. Okay.
You don't have time to make bread.
I don't have time to.
It's 24
It can
hours.
take too long. I would, like, whatever I was going to do, I would do it with fun, for sure. I would want to know whether the end of the world was going to be beautiful. If you could watch it happen. You know, like, find a beach somewhere with no one else on it. So you could be in a really beautiful place. I'd want to eat something really yummy. Like roast pork. I'm vegetarian.
That's